What's up, Sheena?
Hi, Dr. John. Thank you so much for taking my call.
Of course. What are you doing?
I am struggling with a little bit of emotional with a blended family situation.
Oh, good. Oh, good. What's up? All right, what happened?
Monday, I have a yearly pass to this garden place, and I offered them to my oldest stepdaughter, who's 17, and I'm like, hey, you can take your friends, you can take your mom, like I can get you free tickets, like all this week.
Wait, you have passes to a garden place, like a curated
like,
garden, like a park kind of thing?
Yes.
Okay.
Like a really nice fancy park.
Okay, cool.
And so they're like $25 a ticket. So she calls her friend right away. Her friend video called my stepdaughter's mom. Her name's Misty, and they're the friend's mom. So they're on a video call together, and so I was like, hey, Sheena's going to offer us free tickets. Like, we can go any day this week. Do you guys all want to go? And they're like, well, we don't want to go with Sheena. And they started ragging on me, and I'm like standing in the room. And my stepdaughter's listening to all of it, not stopping them. Like, they just continue. So I left the room and went and shut myself in the office. I was like, if they don't want tickets for me, that's fine. But I didn't need to hear all that. And it's not the first time and I have to see her friend. I have to see her friend's mom. I have to see Misty. Like, they've always done stuff like this. Like, I've had to see counselors a few times because I get so personally hurt.
Yeah, stop. Stop giving them a vote. Stop giving them a vote. They don't get a vote. Like, in all honesty, why do you care what, stepdaughter's mom has to say?
I was kind of thinking it while I was sitting on the phone. I've walked in on my stepdaughter trashing me a few different times, like to neighbors or to it's how her mom is. Her mom's a very negative Nancy, and I'm not surprised. Like, my stepdaughter has a hard time keeping friends because she trash talks people so much, and they do walk in on it.
And she learned it from her mom, right?
Yeah, and I don't know how to. I mean, they're teenage girls. Like, we're always going through struggles. They're always going through hard stuff. But I don't know how to help in this situation. And I don't know how to, like, pretend that it doesn't hurt.
Okay, a couple things. With a teenager, with a kid, with a child, as the stepmom, you have to understand that anytime she does something fun with you, there's a part of her that feels like she's being disloyal to her mother. Anytime she laughs with you, accepts a gift from you, she both loves it and cherishes it and is haunted by the fact that you're not her mom.
Yeah.
Right? And so you have to decide as an adult, I am not going to carry the emotions of my teenage stepdaughter. That's madness. It's going to be all over the place. That poor kid has grown up in chaos, right?
Yeah, it would be unfair to burden her.
Her first example of what a mature woman looks like is a grown woman acting like a middle school girl. Right?
Right.
And so this kid's just, gotten the short end of every stick so far. And then she got you. Someone who loves her, who's trying really hard, and you have placed a part of your worth on whether a teenage girl likes you or not.
And I've told her before, I'm like, I will never give up on you.
Yeah.
Ever.
And she doesn't believe you. Why? Because her own mom did.
Yeah.
That little girl's still trying to figure out what in the world she did to separate mom and dad. And so when you say, I won't ever quit on you, she'll look at you through teary eyes and go, I'm so grateful for you, but she doesn't know what that means. And so you got to keep showing up, and you got to keep showing up. I always tell parents, whenever there's divorce and remarriage and blended families, you suddenly shift from a year-long game, like a year-by-year game, to a 10-year, 15-year game. What you're looking for now is a 25-year-old young woman to look back and go, my stepmother was freaking amazing. My mom was nuts. And that's hard day to day when you're trying to do something nice. It's costing you $100, and everyone around you is just trashing you and making fun of you. That's the worst.
Yeah, that's what I keep telling myself, and my husband keeps saying it too. He's like, her mom's like a Muppet. She's the one who complains in the background. Like, she's like an aunt. You always have to see it, get-togethers that's driving everyone nuts. It's just who she is, and she won't change.
But you keep singing and dancing as though you can make her change. Stop. It's just running you into the ground. Yeah,
I know.
Offer her tickets, not because you're hoping for some kind of ROI. Like, okay, this is going to be the thing. Offer her tickets because you got tickets, and that's just the kind of person you are. Or don't offer tickets. Cool. I mean, if y'all don't want them, like, I'd rather go. Or I've got other friends who would like to go.
No, they still accepted the tickets. They didn't mind.
Well, and remember, behavior is a language, especially with a high school kid.
Yeah.
So a high school kid can be like, oh my gosh, this is so dumb. Who would ever do this? And then they go. It's so lame. All she wants to do is go stupid flowers. Oh, that's so ridiculous. And then they go out in the sunshine and they have a great time together.
Yeah, they did have a good time.
Of course they did, because it's fun. It's a good time. And kids often, especially teenagers, they crave peace. They crave sunshine. They crave just slowing down a little bit. But if you offer that, they think you're nuts. Right? It's like a kid will feel better after a healthy meal. But if you offer a healthy meal, they're like, no, dude, let's go to McDonald's. That's the adult's job, is to not hinge everything on the feelings of a teenager.
Yeah.
And you heard him. You saw him. She came back. She probably had a good night. She slept. And the next morning, she woke up and felt a little bit guilty that she had fun without her mom. And the whole thing kicks up again. And I think the work for you is to stop trying to impress a child, to stop trying to win over a stepmom, and to ask your husband, what kind of home do we want to have? And I'm going to build that. And people are going to take shots. They're going to poke fingers. They're going to whatever. It's all good. Some of my closest friends are eyeballs deep in travel sports with their kids, all over the place. Some of my closest friends' kids have more tech on their cell phones than I could ever have as an adult. They're still my friends. I give them a hard time. They make fun of me. But I'm not parenting for their approval.
Yeah.
Right? And I'm especially not parenting for somebody else's approval. So let me ask you one final question before I let you go. Why are you so insecure about this whole parenting thing?
I'm usually not until I hear the negativity. Because I have an ex-husband with a wife, and my husband actually has another son, and I hang out with all of them, and we can all talk and have a good time. But we don't get negative with each other because we all made bad choices in our 20s, and we're trying to figure it out now.
Okay, so why are you letting this one person speak into your soul? It's either you're pretty insecure about your own parenting, or there's a nugget of truth in what she's saying.
I feel like it's all new waters to me because I came from a great family.
Okay.
And so I'm just like, she came from a split family. So I feel like her mom's played this game before. or she's reenacting things that her parents did. I don't know, but it's all new to me. It's like, this is the first time I've ever had a teenage daughter. I'm still trying to figure this out. And I feel like I'm a butterfly and everything touches me and all of a sudden I can't fly for a whole day. Like everything affects me.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just emotionally sensitive.
Emotional sensitivity is good, but emotional outsourcing is not.
Yeah.
I don't want to be surrounded by a bunch of people with super thick skin that can't feel. A bunch of AI robots. I don't want that. And also, that's a fine line between being able to feel and go, oh man, and being shut down by it. And almost always when somebody's shut down by the words of a 16-year-old or the words of an uncouth, uncool ex, that like you really have no relationship, but you kind of do now because you're in this weird situation. That you've got no margin in your life, you're exhausted, your marriage might not be as strong as you want it to be. Like there's other things going on that make your margin so thin that just one drop of water dumps everything over the glass.
I think I'm just I function well with high anxiety.
Yeah, stop. You're going to burn everybody out, yourself included.
Oh.
You know what I mean? Like you get addicted to the chaos and the all the time.
A little bit, yeah.
Yeah, stop. Do this. I'm going to send you my book, Building a Non-Anxious Life, okay? I'm going to send it to you for free. I want you to read it with your husband. And I want you all to ask yourself this question. What would it be like if our home was a place where everybody opened the front door and their shoulders just dropped like 3 inches? We all went, oh, we're home. Not, we all got here and now it's time to get, like, what if that wasn't the case? Because in your world, your relationships are all electric. Everybody's got a thing and I got to manage this and move this and talk to this and respond to this text. And oh my gosh, I didn't respond to that fast. That's your day-to-day life. And you got a teenage girl in the house. That's just chaos all by itself. And then you got a job, you work?
We have 3 businesses.
Because why not? Because why not?
Why not? I know. I'm like a Tasmanian devil, but I actually make everything beautiful after I leave.
Okay, but the Tasmanian devil doesn't call like a mental health podcast, and he's like, I don't know why I'm so fried all the time.
Yeah. I have seen counselors, and they're like, it's just a bump in the road. And it usually is. It's usually just a bump in the road.
It's not a bump in the road, because these bumps are building. They're building on you. And my guess is it's taking longer and longer and longer to get back every time you have one of these week-long setbacks. It takes longer and longer and longer. And it hurts a little bit more and a little bit more. So you have a little bit grander of a gesture. And so my suggestion is, and I know it sounds trite, just unplug. Every time you hear that stepmom say something, I want you to whisper to yourself, she doesn't get a vote. Or even more, her voice doesn't matter. Her opinion doesn't matter. Her opinion doesn't matter. And when you have a 16-year-old or a 15-year-old or a 17-year-old teenager trying to snuggle up to her birth mom, fine. And I want you to begin to catch yourself when you say, hey, you hurt my feelings. Nope. You don't have the power to hurt my feelings. You're a child. I allowed my feelings to be outsourced to a teenager, and I'm going to work on that. Or occasionally I'll tell my daughter, I'm choosing to be frustrated right now. I tell my son, I'm choosing anger right now because of X, Y, or Z. I get to choose that. I'm a grown-up. They can't make me, but I can choose that. And then I want you to go through building a non-anxious life, and I want you to look at these places in your life, the state of your relationships, the state of your finances, the state of your reactivity, the state of, are you and your husband being honest about like reality inside your home, how good things are or are not. And I want y'all to begin solving for peace, not just playing whack-a-mole with problems. What an exhausting way to live. I am not letting a crazy ex-wife speak into my life. they get no votes. None. Zero. Zero votes. I'm going to listen and honor the 16-year-old or 17-year-old or 15-year-old in my house, but they're not making decisions. They don't get final vote, final say. They're kids. They're children. And that means I got to own it. That means I got to be whole. That means I got to have some peace in my life so that I can do these hard things that are going to be asked of me. Or you can just choose chaos. You're a grown-up. You get to do whatever you want to. I'm just telling you. I spent most of my life choosing chaos. And then one day, several years ago, I started choosing peace. Whew, man, it's made all the difference.